To show you how you can set up the reading of these sensors on your phones, I was creating two very simple applications, which is just let's say accessing the accelerometers and start to read the values from these sensors and put it into a log a reading or write it into a log screen. So basically what you need for this is just to use the system's sensor managers on both platforms. There is a framework for it, and you just need to access this. Typically for location handling, you need to have a permission to get the location of the phone. So these are privacy related things. But for the accelerometer, because this is not telling where you are actually, just reading that how the phone is let's say aligned to the ground in three dimensions or three directions. For this you don't need to have a permission. Okay, so let's start with the coding itself. In Android case, of course, the initialization of the sensor manager is important, and also for the main activity you need to have an event listener attached, because the accelerometer is basically triggering some events, and these events need to be cached by the application. So whenever you move the phone, then one reading should be received, and then you can basically do what you want with these figures. Or so if you, for example, would like to have a kind of bubble level application, then of course you can read these values, and then you can basically set the bubble in the right position in your screen. So to add the event listener, of course you need to define that you want to read the sensor event listener, and you need to extend the class with this event listener procedures. And then you need to define the sensor manager variable, and you also need to initialize a variable for the sensor itself what you want to read, because you have definitely a lot of different sensors inside the phone. Now we will work with the accelerometer. So basically this will be a sensor object. In the onCreate function, we get the initialization of the accelerometer sensor itself. So we just access the sensor manager, and we request a system service, which is a sensor service. So basically here the sensor manager will be accessing or requesting this sensor service from the system services. And then we need to attach the accelerometer variable to the default sensor what we want to have to be the accelerometer. So to get this, you need to define at the get default sensor function that the sensor should be the type accelerometer type. So basically this sensor will be attached to the variable. Then the next step is that we want to register the listener. So here you can decide if you continuously want to read the sensor readings whenever the phone is moving or it's changing the values. If you want to do this, then the best thing is that if you register this listener into this into the or inside the onResume function, because then when the phone itself is awake and you are running the application, then the readings can come to the application itself, and you can write the readings into the log. In other case, if you would put it into the onCreate function, then these readings would come until the point you are unregistering the listener. So basically, here, because in this example, if the phone is going into sleep mode or the display is not showing anything, then the application will be in background, and then the sensor readings are unregistered, so the application will not get any of these sensor readings. So here in the onResume, the register listener function is called for the sensor manager, and then this function is telling to the sensor or the listener itself that it should be attached to this main activity. So inside the main activity we will have the listener functions. The sensor is the accelerometer sensor, which we basically linked here, and then the reading should be read with a short delay, and there is a delay defined in the system, so the reading will be show up after this delay is reached. So then we need to add the event listener functions, and what we will only use here inside this example, the onSensor change. So whenever we move the phone, this listener will be, or listener function will be triggered, and then we can read the values. And here we need to make sure that we are reading the right sensor, or we are taking the values of the sensor itself, because this function would be called actually whenever any sensor get a changed value. But we want to show only the accelerometer at this moment. So here we are reading the sensor, so basically the event itself will be a sensor event, and then we can read the values. And as you can see, we have 3 values here for the accelerometer. The first value is the acceleration into the x direction, one is the y direction, and z is the third dimension. So basically this is the x value is the left or right side of the phone, the y direction is the top or bottom side of the phone, and then the z direction is the screen or the back side of the phone itself. So the last thing what we are doing here is that when the application is going into pause mode, then the sensor readings are unregistered here. Okay, so this is basically the simple reading application for the sensors. Of course, we are not doing anything else, just reading the values and writing the values into the log file or log screen. So it will appear here in the bottom of the log. Okay, so let's run the application. It will run on my phone, so you will not see the phone itself, but you will see here the readings. Okay, and the phone was already going into sleep mode, so I need to open it up again. And then the readings are coming again. And as you can see, now my phone is let's say in my hand, and the bottom and the top is up and down. So basically here you can see that the Z reading is about the G-force, so 9.81 ish something, so around that one. Of course it's not exactly one value, because of course you can't hold the phone steadily in this direction, but even if you put it on a table like I do it right now, the reading is slightly changing. So you basically need to make sure that in your application you are handling this value on a way that it's not changing that much, or you should basically try to smooth it a little bit, I would say. So when I turn it to the right, sorry, it went again to sleep. So if I turn it into the right side of the phone, you can see that the x direction is minus 9.8ish something, and if I turn it to the left side, then the value becomes positive. So you can see exactly that if it's on the right side, it's negative. If it is in the left side, it's positive. So you can also see the direction of this force. If I put the phone into the up-down position, then it's is the y direction, and if I put it upside down, it's minus value. So this is how you can interpret the readings, and this is how it works on an Android application. So let's see the similar case for the iOS version. The application is pretty similar. However, in the iOS case, it's a bit even simpler, because the readings you don't need to define a kind of listener here, but basically you need to add the function which is automatic called in a defined interval. So the readings are steadily coming to the application if the interval is reached. So let's start from the beginning. So actually in iOS you also have a kind of sensor manager, but here the sensors are typically let's say individually handled. So if you want to get the accelerometer values, then you need to use the CM motion manager function or object, and basically you need to link your application to this motion manager object, which is basically handled by the system itself. So the first thing is that in the view controller for the application, after the view did load, or inside the view did load, we can add the code. But one thing is important, that where you want to use this motion manager, the motion manager variable itself should be a global variable. So if you would put this definition not here but inside the view did load, so here this would be a local variable, and with the local variable the reading will not work. So you should not put it here, you should use it globally. So this is one trick, or one important thing. So even if you would think that it's logical that you define this variable just where you want to use it, so under the view did load, because we are basically using this variable only inside this viewDidLoad function, this is not the right way. So it will cause a problem that your readings will not come at all to this point. Okay, so basically when we are initializing this view controller, we basically make an instance of this motion manager object, and then we can start to use it inside the functions. So at the view did load, so when the application is actually loaded and the screen is built up, we can check if the accelerometer of the phone is available. Of course, in all modern phones, you have this accelerometer itself as a standard thing, because nowadays the chips are basically having these integrations already. But in older phones you might miss this. So if you don't want to crash the application due to this, then you should check the availability of the accelerometer sensor, and then you can start to use it. So then the next thing is what we need to define. As I said, in the Android case, we had this motion listener or accelerometer listener function, and every time the sensor is changed, then you got a reading. But in the iOS case, you need to define how often you want to read the value from the accelerometer. So here you need to set this value to the accelerometer update interval variable, and here we set, or I set this value to 0.1 seconds. So every tenth of a second, the accelerometer value will be read by the application. The next thing what we need to do is that we need to start the accelerometer updates. So here we need to call this function, and then we need to define this callback portion of the code. So basically here we link the accelerometer updates to the main queue or main thread, and then we basically read the data with this function here, and then we print the values. As you can see here, you have the data received with the value, and also the direction of the acceleration. So here the XYZ values are the same like in the Android case. However, you will see that the values are a bit different, so you will not get the 9.8 values for the G acceleration, but you will get 0.98. So if you want to get the same values, you should multiply it by 10. Okay, so basically that's it. It's very simple. Of course, if you want to deal with the data, or you want to use the data for something, then of course you can do it in your application. But here the aim was just to show how the accelerometer can be set up and the values can be read. So let's build the application, and I open my phone on the same way as it was in the Android case. Okay, so the application started, and as you can see, the values are coming here. However, it's a bit small maybe, but now I'm holding the phone again, the bottom down, so the back side of the phone is down, and you can you can see that, let's pause a little bit the application. So here you can see that the reading is somewhere around 9 point or 0.99. So basically it's a bit different from the Android case, but the Z direction is exactly the same. So let's continue. And if I turn the phone upside down, so the face is down now, then it's a positive value. If I turn it back again to the back side down, and then it's again negative value. I turn the phone to the right side, you can see that the X value became 0.19899 or even 1. If I turn it to the left side, then it's minus, and now at the bottom is down, and now the top is down, so the Y value is going to be plus or minus 0.9 or 1. Okay, so this is basically how the readings work, and as I said, for the accelerometer itself you don't need to request permission. However, you would like to if you would like to get the location data, of course you might, or you would need to request the permission, and if the permission is granted, then you can read the data by your application. If not, then you cannot. So that's it for today about the motion sensor, and hope you enjoyed this short tutorial. And if you didn't do so far, then please subscribe to my tutorials for further contents. See you, and goodbye.